Uncle, your turn.
Yes. Andrew Ross Sorkin, do you agree with Larry Kudlow that Medicare and Social Security should be handed to Wall Street through privatization? Is that what he's for? I'm sure he is.
I'm sure he is for it.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm for that. No, I'm going to take the other side of that. Is that where you want me to go?
Well, I don't know. What are you checking with me for? I'm asking you the question.
I think.
I mean, Bush proposed this.
I think that's a real problem. I think the privatization of so many things, actually, especially when it comes to people's pension and retirement, part of our problem has been that. So I'm going to take the other side.
But as an economist,
yes.
Wait, I'm not.
Who plays one on TV?
I'm just going to give you the other argument.
Okay,
which is
go for it.
I've seen the chart of where money, if you put your money in the stock market,
yes,
versus if you just put it in the bank or whatever that is.
It'll do better in the market.
Like the market one goes like this. Now, you can't watch it every year because the market goes up and down. But over the time, if you put it in when you were 20, by the time you retired at 65,
look, if
the money goes like this, and
if we had a forced savings program,
I'm just saying.
By the way, if we had a real forced savings program where you couldn't take it out and you could, and somebody else, and it was effectively going to be managed elsewhere, and there was guarantees on it, I could actually go for that.
Yeah, it's not the craziest.
Not the craziest guy in the world.
That Bush. But hey, that's what. Who is he to you? Is he your uncle? George Bush?
W?
Yeah,
he's my cousin.
You have to think about that.
Yeah, there's a lot of us there. Cousin.
Right.
Yeah, his dad's my uncle. I'm pretty sure of it.
You guys hang out?
There's a lot of us. No, not much.
So, Billy, how was the rest of the Bush family holding up under Trump, this card says?
Trying to take the high road, I think. I don't know if you saw.
Right.
I'm not sure either one cast a vote for him. In fact, I'm pretty sure they didn't.
Now, speaking of Me Too stuff, boy, the old man sure skated on the ass grabbing. Have you ever talked to him about that?
I told him never again. You hear me? Don't do that. No.
But, because there's a conservative. He did. I mean, it sounds like the same thing, that Al Franken was accused of, and that just kind of like went into the ether. Okay.
Except he's a former president of the United States.
Yeah, right.
Who is, people didn't know that about, and there's a whole bunch of women that said it's pretty messed up, pretty unacceptable. And there was a joke that went with it. It's disgusting and inexcusable.
Right, you are.
Well, Jeez, Pete, what a lot of fun you are.
Well, I mean, he has it.
Well, I mean, okay.
There's no upside to it. Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm not sure what Al Franken did. I'll just say that.
I'm talking about Pappy. Either one. I mean, who's grabbing people like that in a photo op? It's weird.
It is weird, especially
I mean, everybody wants a photo with Bill Maher. Have you ever even considered I don't even touch people.
Take pictures like this.
Yes, exactly.
Every picture I take is like this.
Yeah.
Hands up. Okay. Why does the NRA get a tax exemption, and how do we take it away?
Elect Democrats.
That's a good, because they would like to say that they don't run a political action committee, but they do have that wing, and otherwise they're saying they're a grassroots nonprofit organization, right. But they've used the legal corporate tax loopholes to build out an entire political lobbying wing that doesn't get taxed. So that's a corporate tax loophole, but that's also because the NRA knows how to work the system.
Boy, do they.
By the way,
and they know how to use a crisis.
But
they never let a crisis go to waste.
Follow the money on the NRA.
Now we're arming teachers.
Not yet.
They somehow turn that.
One shot the other day.
It's moving ahead in many states. Somehow they turn that around to a way they could sell more guns.
It's moving ahead in the states where they still beat kids with paddles. I mean, it's not. I don't think it's taking hold. Certainly, it's not. There's no agreement amongst educators and experts about arming teachers. Teachers don't want that.
One thing I was just going to say on money on the NRA. You can go after them on the taxes or whatever it is, but the real opportunity, given I cover the world of finance, is the companies. It's all the companies that do business with the NRA and people who do business with guns. It's the credit card companies that allow the transactions on the cards. It's Apple TV and Amazon and everybody who allows this stuff over their airwaves. Washington, unfortunately, is not going to do anything, I don't think, anytime soon. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But I think in the meantime, there's a huge swath of stuff that can actually happen, but it depends on everybody actually doing something about it.
And that goes to the action related to your pocketbook, right? Consumers have to wait about 2 years before we can use our power as citizens to kick somebody out of office. I can make a decision tomorrow if I want to go to a different store. If I don't like Walmart.
They get in your business?
They got the business of a lot of people out of that day, right? But Dick's Sporting Goods did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I got paddled a couple of times, and
hey now.
Didn't seem to destroy me.
Still here.
But Only when you do something really bad, you know, and, you know.
I wasn't sure what kind of paddling you
Didn't
were
have, like,
talking about, though.
nails in it or anything. It was...
I'm not quite sure what kind of paddling he's talking about, but maybe we should move on.
I'm just saying. If you worked in the White House, would you resign on principle or stay to help minimize the damage Trump causes?
Oh, so I don't think there's any heroism in serving in this White House anymore. I think initially people really did think that, like John Kelly, he's like, I'm going to serve my country and do this, but it's you're not serving the public at this point, right? You're serving Trump and his personal Trump interests, and that's just not.
And you don't know what they are,
right? But it's actually very clear
And,
what they are. Actually, they're advancing his family and whoever else is willing to line his pocketbooks, whether it be Russian oligarchs or any other dictators that he may or may not want to emulate. But there is, I did work in the White House, and there's absolutely no question that I would ever work in a Trump White House. And the sad thing is, everybody who's walked out has walked out tarnished. Like it's a dead end. It's a dead end job now.
Icarus, fly close to the sun.
Right.
Yes. No, but anyone...
And then, Monica Lewinsky has a better reputation than Sean Spicer
But
does.
would you want John
Who does?
Kelly?
Monica Lewinsky is doing better brand-wise
Right.
than Sean Spicer, the former White House
No,
press
anybody,
secretary.
as you can attest, anyone who gets in contact with, he's a human wood chipper. People just...
But everything he touches
everything
dies.
Right,
If you don't
really,
have the
it's
courage to
amazing.
say no to a job to Donald Trump,
Right.
you shouldn't be running a
But
McDonald's.
I do want to
But we
throw
have a
in.
problem.
I do want to throw in about public servants who are. I was a political appointee. There are public servants in the Foreign Service, the military, civil servants who keep the day-to-day function of government running. The fact that they are feeling demoralized is a massive problem because they're the ones who make sure we get things like our Social Security checks.
All I was going to say is the real problem, though, is look, you can call all the people who showed up in the beginning opportunists, which they are. Today, the new people are believers, and fortunately or unfortunately, but fortunately for Trump and unfortunately maybe for everybody else.
Cartoon villain.
But the opportunists, to the degree you thought that they were saving the country from Trump, those people don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And so I think
Right.
there has to be some thought about whether you do want some diversity of thought in the room,
But
even if it's going to taint people. I don't know what the right answer is.
The problem is he has to want the diversity of thought in the room.
But he doesn't.
Exactly. Right. So, like, what do you get out of serving? Like,
He doesn't want any
how are you going
thought
to
in the
fix
room.
anything?
That's what they're... But that's what they're claiming these days all over TV, is that that's why there's this turnover, because he has this...
He said he likes to see people go at it and fight. And I'm like, this is the guy who's going to negotiate with Kim Jong-un? Like, I like to just see people go at it.
But this is how we know him, the boardroom. I mean, this is how he's the host of The Apprentice. You're
Right.
fired. He instigates.
And he made...
They're all about selling lemonade on a corner in Fifth Avenue.
made
It
but
wasn't
now
like
it's
it wasn't
for real.
all there for us to judge.
He made voters think he'd be able to take business savvy and apply that to politics and all these other things and policy and maybe
So many people
but
are
the problem is
complicit in that, though, don't you think?
It is, and it's shady business deals. That's the problem. It works in real estate. It doesn't work in diplomacy or in policy.
How many of those voters that he convinced, this is my question, how many of those voters that he did convince, have changed their mind? Or more importantly, has anybody said since Trump was elected, I was really against him the whole time, but in these 14 months, he's really impressed me. I think I'm going to reconsider my vote for November. That's like one guy who's a pig farmer.
There are.
I think
there are.
All right.
Really?
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, panel.